Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show. The infused hot sauce, so I'm feeling it. So maybe I'll edit that out.
Infused hot sauce. Oh, man.
All right. Let's talk about... people said Age of Ultron is the worst Avengers film.
Do people really
Let's
say
get
that?
curious.
Do people really say that Age of Ultron's the worst?
Of the four of them, I guess, yeah.
Really? I really like Age of Ultron.
I like it too, but of the four, what would you... Now I'm getting really loud. Of the four, what would you rank? Okay, all right.
So Avengers.
Let's throw this one in. All 5 Avengers films, including this one, 1998 to 2020. All right, so I'm going. Number 1 for me is Infinity War. How about you?
Top of the list, Infinity War. I think I'd say the same. Infinity War, yeah.
Okay.
Endgame is great, but
my number 2 is Endgame.
Okay.
What's your number 2? We'll go in that order.
All right.
Bracketing.
I think I'll also say Endgame.
Okay. Number 3, Avengers 2012.
I'll say Age of Ultron.
Okay. My number 4 is Age of Ultron.
Avengers. I that's the thing. I don't hate any of the movies, but it was when it comes to like
What's your number 4?
is regular Avengers.
Okay.
2012.
And my number 5 is Avengers 1998.
Same here. That's my number 6. And I don't know if
It's my number 9. It wishes it was 007. Let's talk about how much this movie wishes it was 007.
Oh my god! So many things it wishes it was.
Okay, I wanted to do this as the tagline intro. I should have specified this beforehand, but I'm gonna do this. And maybe you know what? Maybe the the theme can come after this. Yeah. We're spicing things up here, folks. The theme will come after this.
Ooh.
Right. And people said Age of Ultron was the worst Avengers movie. Let's get curious. Connery Curious.
Saga, The Last Crusade, You Only Live Twice, and the Anderson Tapes, Murder on the Orient Express. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marnie and a woman of straw, and a voodoo man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Okay, we're back into it now.
All right, beautiful.
Welcome to Connery Curious, folks. My name is Dylan Titus.
And I am Mario Lima.
And this week we are talking about, if you didn't get it from the pre-credits sequence, because I think this episode deserves a pre-credits
We had our
sequence.
first cold open.
Did we have a cold open? What was the cold open?
Is that a cold open or is that a?
Oh, no. That's... Hold on. I guess we're just going to get into my first note then. 3 minutes of titles. There's 3 minutes of titles. There's no cold open before those titles. And man, are the titles like I Wanna Be James Bond, Daniel Kleinman sequence.
If you look at my notes, I wrote Bond meets Inspector Gadget. This reminded me of the intro from like was it 1999's Inspector Gadget?
Where it's all like gears and stuff.
Yeah, like Matthew Broderick's Inspector Gadget.
It's not the fun cartoon opening that it should be.
Yeah, it's just
that's a film that could be made today. I think
Inspector Gadget. Yeah,
really, and I'm sorry, it would be really fun.
Yeah, seriously.
Make it CGI. Oh wait, they did that a couple years ago, didn't they? Did they do a CGI Inspector Gadget?
I don't think so. I think they did a regular animated one. Maybe they did a CGI one. I don't know. Listeners, if there's a CGI Inspector Gadget, write into us and let us know.
We're not talking about this movie for a reason.
Yeah, this is...
Guys, listeners, I'm sorry. It took me 3 days to watch this 90-minute movie, and discounting the credits, 80 minutes.
So here,
Okay.
I like I like to open up with some fun trivia.
There's no fun trivia.
No, this is hilarious. This is hilarious trivia. One of my favorite ones here is Ralph Fiennes said of this movie, and I quote, I think it's a badge of honor to have a real flop on your resume. And then...
Amen.
Let's see. And then what was the other one I had here? This movie's critical and commercial failure, along with the equally unsuccessful and equally maligned League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, was partially responsible for Sir Connery's decision to retire from the movie business.
Oh my god. I feel bad for him.
It's so...
For that reason, like but also he chose these. He had an agent that chose these and helped him choose these, or like suggested these roles for him, and he said yes. What?
And then one more I have here, which I guess clarifies something about this film. Warner Brothers did not preview this film for critics. The movie was dramatically re-edited prior to the release, so sections of it failed to make sense.
I believe that entirely.
This movie moves so fast,
so quickly,
and
so should we. We're done.
Blink and you missed it. It was insanity to the point where I had granted I did I had to write notes. I watched this two days ago. One, because I had to remember everything, and two, it was so crazy. I can't believe this film existed. My after my Bond meets Inspector Gadget note, the next thing I have written down is Milkman Assassin.
Oh, so many assassins. Okay, before we get too much into the movie itself, I think so nobody's confused. There was no Marvel Avengers film in 1998. Those Marvel characters were not in film. I gotta raise my desk up a little bit here. The Avengers, I'm just going to take it from the Wikipedia here. The Avengers that we're talking about here is a 1998 American satirical spy action comedy film. I guess you could call it that. Directed by Jeremiah Chechik, an adaptation of the 1961 to 1969 British television series of the same name. Stars Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman as secret agents John Steed and Emma Peel, and Sean Connery as Sir August de Winter, a mad scientist bent on controlling the world's weather. Okay, so the Avengers television series was very much inspired by the success of the Bond films. Well, it would actually, I'm sorry, from 61, so it would have been before Dr. No, but I'm sure that it really took off from the Bond films being successful as well, and I'm sure the series helped the Bond films be successful in its own way, get interest in spy media for the American culture. Maybe I'm wrong. I need to do some real deep digging because this film really makes me interested in that. So now that we've told people what Avengers film we're covering, not the Marvel one, though there is Black Widow in this movie.
Basically.
Let's get into it.
Whew, man.
Whew. This is an 80-minute movie. Yeah.
Which was interesting. I was like, okay, I say it shouldn't be too crazy, but it did feel a bit longer, even though it did move really fast.
As I said, I took three watchings to watch this thing. I had to watch it once and then restart it because I forgot everything, and then I had to finish it today. Oh man. I'm sorry to do this real early, but can we do a Sean Connery P break?
Hit it.
Thank you. Do you want to vamp or do you want to pause? And I was re-listening. You said, did he say vampire? I did say vampire. It was a pun on vamp. Like, like riff. Go ahead and keep talking while I'm gone. But do you want to do that, or do you want to?
Oh,
We can edit this out.
We'll let it out.
Okay. All right, we're back in. All right. Let's get into this movie.
Where do we start?
Where do we start? You want to just go start with each other's notes, or I will continue going through the Wikipedia as I normally do?
My notes are interesting, so I definitely want to go back to these because, like,
yeah, please do.
Looking back to them, I just kind of forget what's going on here. As I said before, I wrote Milkman Assassin.
Milkman Assassin.
And for some reason, I wrote Never Say Never Again intro.
It does have a very Never Say Never Again intro vibe because it's a training sequence.
Yeah, so after they
and a Living Daylights vibe with the Milkman Assassin.
Yes.
Yeah. And the priest assassin, right? Or no, not the priest. There's a cop.
Nuns, I think, too.
And the old lady. No, the nuns don't attack.
Oh, that's right. They don't attack.
I did like that. I liked that sequence. It was a good opening. And as much as I didn't like the 3 minutes of titles, I really liked how when the titles ended, it went to black, and then it was his bowler hat stepping out. It was a nice transition. That opening sequence was good.
Let's see. So let's talk about the cast for a bit. Interesting. We have Harry Potter and James Bond connections here.
Yeah.
James Bond being, of course,
Lord Voldemort and M. Lord Voldemort. Big capital M.
And then we have Mother and Father, played by Jim Broadbent, who is Horace
Slughorn, right?
Horace Slughorn, and then Father is played by Fiona Shaw, who is Aunt Petunia.
Aunt Petunia, yeah.
So I watched this film with Alicia, my lovely fiance. Shout out to Alicia, who never says yes when I say, "Hey, do you want to watch a Connery movie for this podcast I'm doing?" And she's like, "No," but for some reason she said yes this time.
Did she know the cast?
No, not at all. So we said, it's a Connery film. Let's just jump into it. And we show up, and she's like, "Oh, that's Lord Voldemort." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." Then we see Horace Slughorn with a mustache. Oh, hey, that's an Aunt Petunia. And like her mind was blown.
Hot Petunia.
Hot Petunia.
Hot Petunia.
And I think, and then trying to. And we just laughed for about 20 minutes because Fiona Shaw's intro she's blind, obviously, in this film, but she kind of walks out like with a Frankenstein kind of
yes
walk.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And we laughed, I think, for about a half hour about how ridiculous that was. Man.
Yes, I love her, and I wrote Jim Broadbent heart. Because I love him in anything. And I haven't seen Fiona Shaw in much else. I've seen her in a few things, but I liked her in this.
Yeah, she shows
Goofy.
up in Andor. She's in Star Wars world now, too. She has a big part in Andor, actually, on Disney+.
I heard Andor's good.
Yeah, it's been great. I loved it.
Good.
But yeah, so what do you have for notes here, man? Let's transition over to you.
3 minutes of titles, and they feel like a bad Daniel Kleinman rip-off sequence, actually, you know how they did? Somebody else did the Quantum of Solace titles, and they're like, it's just grains of sand and oil and such.
Yeah,
it was like that, but way worse. Though I did like the transition out to the bowler hat. That was nice. My next note is Ralph Fiennes' heart and his car heart.
I wrote in my notes, tea gadgets.
Tea gadget. Yes, I have that as well.
Rather
stocked.
Car
tea dispenser.
I wrote tea gadgets rather stocked. I love that.
That was good, and I liked how the scene ended. More tea? No, thank you. No, for me. That was good.
Beautiful.
I liked how the training sequence ended with macaroons for mother.
I put down mother's macaroons equals plot. Because they mentioned macaroons like for the first half hour at least 20 times.
I also wrote that it was a running joke. Yeah. I have. Sorry. Shut that alarm off. I already did that thing. Yes, I liked the running joke of the macaroons that he tells Emma Peel, excuse me. He tells her. Oh, another Bond connection. I'm sorry. That character of Emma Peel was played by Diana Rigg,
Who was apparently
James Bond.
supposed to she was going to play the character of Alice in this film, but she had gotten the script and she passed away shortly after.
Passed away? No, she didn't.
Did she not pass away?
She was in Game of Thrones, dude.
Was she?
Yeah. She's the grandmother of the gosh, I don't remember their names. The kid who played Iron Fist and the
Who did they say?
Natalie Dormer, right? Is that her name?
I was looking in here for.
I don't remember the character names, but she's their grandmother. That's Diana Rigg. She passed away recently, I think. Hold on.
Yeah. It says 2020 she passed away. Oh, okay. So why
Yeah,
does it say this? Yeah. Okay. So the way they put it in the
passed
trivia-
on it. I'm sure she passed on it, but not away, because I would pass on this movie too if I was.
She did pass. Okay, never mind. I read that wrong, ladies and gentlemen. She did die in 2020.
She got the script, and then she passed.
Diana Rigg
on it.
Diana Rigg faked her own death when she got the script. And the last time we saw her, she showed up in Game of Thrones. I forget that's her, man.
Yeah, the director of this movie, the director Jeremiah Chechik was watching Game of Thrones. He's like, hey, wait a second. I thought she was dead. Her agent told me she was dead. I sent flowers to them. Who did I send flowers to?
So yeah, sorry. Diana Rigg passed on the position. She didn't pass away yet.
She passed on the what day?
2020. I didn't say what day it was. Let me see. When did she die exactly? It doesn't say, but we'll just say, September 10th, 2020.
A week before my birthday.
Jeez.
So she passed on the script, and she passed on the 10th of September. Anyway.
Curiously sad.
Curiously sad. That was a moment of silence for Mrs. James Bond, Teresa De Vincenzo. Anyway. Okay, where were we? We're talking about things that are better than this. Because yeah.
Let's see. So I have, Mother's Macaroons.
The running joke of that being, he says to Emma Peel, don't take the macaroons. He's going to offer you the macaroons, don't take them. And she's all sassy, so she's like, I'll take a macaroon. They offer her a macaroon. She's like, yeah, I'll take a macaroon. Sass. And they don't trust her. The whole time they don't trust her because of that. And then by the end of the movie, Mother offers her a macaroon, and she doesn't take it. Like she's learned a lesson in spycraft. You don't take the macaroons. It simply isn't done.
Simply.
Like we're listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
And what was his beef with the Beatles? I don't know.
Goddamn hippies. My next note is Uma's stove, heart. Did you see her stove?
Oh yeah, her whole apartment's kind of weird.
Dope.
Because I
love it. Minimalist.
Where was it? Oh, I had a note here. Ridiculous vacuum phone. Remember the phone she had?
Yeah, it was like a vacuum.
It was like because the way it looked, it was like
a cone.
It had like a base,
like a gourd.
Yeah, it had like a base. I figured like it was just like the top came off or something, but then the whole thing came up.
She just lifted it right up. Yeah,
and
it was a button on the bottom that like it was pressure activated.
Yeah, so I was like, that was so interesting. I just didn't expect.
So if that phone gets knocked over at any point, it's making a call.
Yeah.
Well, not making a call, but you know what I mean.
It's
like
gonna be
the dial tone is
dial
happening.
tone. Yeah, remember those days when you had to hang up your phone? Jesus,
man, 25,000 years ago. Maybe 25,000 days ago. No, that'd be 60 years.
Mm.
Right? Anyway, I'm thinking too much about different things because this is another movie. Why do we have 2 movies in a row that just sapped my brain?
Fingers crossed for a fantastic
Dude,
one.
I'm really hoping for like a nice, calm Finding Forrester next. You know,
Or
like
The
something
Rock.
nice and easy.
I'm really waiting for The
No,
Rock.
I need something easy. There's too many action movies lately. They've all been action movies. All of them. I need something low key. I need a crime drama or a Finding Forrester, Just Cause or something. You know, something where no one, the most action is a punch or two. Because I know we're only 4 in, but these 4 action films in a row have really kind of worn me out, you know? And ending with this one. This is a rough one to end on. For this run of whatever. And I hope we don't get another action film or else it's not over.
Yeah.
I would like a little break.
But let's see.
Snooty Usher is my next note.
Snooty Usher. Let's see. Where am I? Here are my notes.
There's not been a lady in Boodles since 1769.
Oh yeah, I have this. I have
Whatever.
I have no women in all caps, and then I have no. Alicia points out, quote, why is there so much eating in this movie? Which I'm thinking it's for the macaroon scene, I guess, or when
I didn't notice a lot of eating.
I think Slughorn. We're going to call him Slughorn because that's what we know him as. I think he's like stuffing his face at one point, like when you first meet him, I guess. But I don't know why I wrote Alicia points out why so much eating.
You know, I was really disappointed in Half-Blood Prince to find out that Slughorn was working for Wonka the whole time. Like, what a weird... Like, why was that character even there? Like, I don't think he was in the book, you know?
For Wonka?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Willy Wonka and the Half-Blood Prince. The other half of his blood is chocolate.
Mad times we live in mad. I have sugar diabetes, Dumbledore.
Who is that? Oh,
That's Horace.
That was good. That was really good. I mean, it did. I must not have been because I didn't get it. But as soon as I
my
realized, I'm
favorite
like,
Potter
do it
movie.
one more time. Do it one more time.
It's like I've tried because on
Yes, you can.
It's like,
Spectacular, spectacular.
that's the one I quote the most because there's a scene where he's at the 3 broomsticks in Hogsmeade with Harry and Hermione and all that, and there's that scene of he's like with butterbeer. He's like drunk on butterbeer, and he's like, it's like, I've been coming here to the 3 broomsticks for years. I remember when it was 1 broomstick, and he like spills the butterbeer on Hermione. He's like, oh, whole hands on deck, Granger. And that quote always makes me laugh because it's like. What do you mean, all hands on deck? It's like he spilled so much butterbeer on the table. It's a stupid joke, but it always makes me laugh.
Because he's drunk.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, there's some good direction in those movies, and good utilization of the actors. I need to rewatch some of them because I need to watch some of the later ones again because I haven't watched them.
Half-Blood Prince is that good one because it's like it's still got that like that charming humor of Hogwarts, but it's also right before the shitstorm of Deathly Hallows, where like
and it hits at the end of the movie.
Yeah, like you get that crazy scene, so it's insane.
What's all right? Best and worst Harry Potter movie? I know because there's a lot of them, but just sticking to the Harry Potter movies.
In my opinion,
sorry, folks, we're discussing J.K. Rowling's work.
I know, but let's see.
I like the movies and I like the books.
Yeah,
and I like the franchise in general.
Yeah,
I can separate art from their creators.
Yeah, same here. It's like our community, the freaking nerds community. We all love. We're all excited for Hogwarts Legacy coming out soon.
I'm excited for that game. That
like,
looks pretty cool. I just like open world games.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Like shout out to James of Expecto Go and Freaking Nerds Media. He was on the showcase gameplay showcase.
Of what? James of what? I'm sorry.
Expecto Go, and he's in
Expecto Go,
and he's a part of Freaking Nerds Media. He was on the first gameplay showcase with Avalanche a few weeks back. So we're super proud of him. And we're super hyped for the game. But yeah, okay. So best, in my opinion, the best is probably Half-Blood Prince. A lot of people, when I say that, they kind of tilt their heads like, really? Because I think the one they always go to is Goblet of Fire. which I understand. That's a very fun one, and we have Batman's in that movie, for God's sakes.
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson's in there, and the worst. Yeah, Michael Keaton as a wizard would be awesome. And I think the worst, like they're all great, but I feel like I guess Sorcerer's Stone hasn't really aged well. I guess just because of like the kid actors. What are you gonna do? Even
But I have a strong spot in my heart for that movie.
it was the first. I remember seeing it for the first time in school.
theaters.
Yeah, in school. I remember a field trip.
Oh, that's where you saw it for the first time?
Yeah, we did a field trip
To the theaters?
Yeah, it was like we did a book report on the Sorcerer's Stone, and as like a treat, we'd go to see the movie. I thought that was really interesting as my first experience of seeing book versus film.
That was a phenomenon. It's huge.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, obviously everyone knows the history of Harry Potter, stuff like that. Everyone, enough about Harry Potter out there in the consciousness. Forgive me. But yeah, I have fond memories of Sorcerer's Stone just because my dad took me to see it. We had a good time. It was in the theaters, and I remember the build up to it, seeing video footage on like Good Morning America of the invisibility cloak and being pretty blown away.
Oh yeah, the effects were like insane, and so yeah, it's like I have a soft spot in my heart for all of them, but like if I was to say like the worst, I guess I would say the first one, I guess. But
Yeah.
you know what?
I like Chamber of Secrets less than the first one.
Chamber of Secrets only sells me because sorry, hold on.
No, you're good.
What's his name is in it? He was in the remake of Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, he plays.
He does some Poirot, right?
He's
Play Poirot.
no, he's why can't
He does some great work, man. Kenneth Branagh, some really great work. I liked him in a lot in Dunkirk. I really enjoyed his Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Guys, we're still talking about the Avengers. Don't worry.
People are like, get on to it.
Yeah. Is Kenneth Branagh in the MCU? Oh, he directed Thor.
That's right. Yeah.
Now we're back on, which brings us to Black Widow, who's not in that movie, but Hawkeye is, and his partner is Black Widow, which her design was based on Emma Peel's design in the Avengers TV show, which is utilized in this movie. And we're back. Okay.
I guess let's start getting into like the man.
Like a nice little Harry Potter divergence. Now,
let's get into the.
You said Andor was pretty good.
Andor was great. But let's get into the man behind the podcast. I guess I have a couple of fun quotes and things for the man himself, Sean Connery. First note I have here is Connery jam session. We get him.
Oh, he jams out on the keyboard.
Yeah,
he Phantoms of the Operas.
Yeah, he's just shredding. Then
1 year before the Phantoms of the Menace.
Ooh, that would be interesting to see Connery and I don't know. And then I have.
We did not grant you the rank of master. You say this boy is the one referred to in the prophecy? I don't know any lines of dialogue from Mace Windu in episode 1, but that's who he would be. He would be Mace Windu.
He's meant to bring balance to the Force, Yoda, you see.
Or Qui-Gon Jinn. He can see things before they happen. Or Watto. No pod is worth 2 slaves.
Ah, yeah, Shandy, my boy.
Chance Cube. You won the small toss, Outlander, but you won't win the race. I don't know what that was.
Should be him as Anakin. Now this is pod racing.
No.
Let's see. So next,
are you a Jedi? Nobody can kill a Jedi. I don't. There's no S's there. Speaking of S's, all of the S's are aged in this movie. That'll be the segment. Are the S's aged?
Oh yeah, he has full. So that's why. So we wrote my notes real quick for so Connery jam session. Then I have wet Connery sneak attack.
Wet Connery sneak attack. Hold on, I need to make a note real quick. Hold on. What was that one? I literally just Is the S aged? I don't know.
Is the S aged? Yeah.
Status of the S. Hold on.
Status of the S.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to backtrack. I was writing down the segments that we have. Kennet 007, where does the 007 theme go?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll work that one in as we go. And then Sean Connery quote. Okay? And then now we've got status of the S. So the status of the S, it's full H.
And I actually have two quotes here.
That H is capital.
Let's see, so
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, continue. I'm sorry.
For two Connery quotes I have here is I have, please touch it. And then
I wrote that down as well.
And then I said, I did it all. T.
That was a beautiful moment of acting. I genuinely love that. How angry he got, and then just how not pleasant, but just like it's time for tea. I don't really have time to be angry now.
Mellows
it's tea
out
time.
real quick.
Want to join me? That was great. The Connery. Sean Connery quote. Welcome to Sean Connery quote. Again. So yes, I also wrote please touch it. So here's what I wrote 4 of them in a row. One should never fear being wet. Nothing beats a good lashing. India is known to get 10 inches overnight. And please touch it. Yeah. And also, not only are all of Sean Connery's S's H'd with a big capital H. So that's how we're going to phrase it now. Are the S's H'd? Hold on. I got to write that before I forget it. I'm sorry.
Are the S's
Because I'll forget. Even when I go back to edit this podcast, I'll forget it. Status of the S. There we go. That is the weirdest sentence I've ever typed. So as much as Connery's S's are H'd, there are initiate S's all over this movie. All over it. But you know what there aren't all over this movie? People. Did you notice that? There's no one in this movie.
Yeah, you could tell they were like
I don't know what it means. I don't know. I couldn't tell anything from it.
What was the budget of this movie?
But there you can't. Okay, so the ending shot is a drone shot, fly out shot of London. Either it was a CGI London, which it didn't look like, or they digitally removed every human.
Well, no, it was definitely...
Which takes budget.
Well, I think it was definitely like a photo because they really tried to show the damage of Big Ben at the end with the big hole.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what they did. They just kind of took like a establishing
I didn't even
shot.
notice that.
And that's how I noticed because I was like, okay, that's a nice little attention to detail because anybody else would have just like kept it like, looking normal. But like
as it was, I'm sure they would have forgot it.
Yeah, if anything, but they blatantly made you like notice, hey, yeah, there's a hole in there, so that's a real shot of London,
But there's nobody in it. There's nobody in any shots of anywhere in this movie. There's no civilians. What world are they saving?
So the budget for this movie was $60 million.
And it made 55. 54.7.
God damn.
Wow. Yeah, this is just nuts. This movie is just nuts. Okay, so so the steam bath scene is really good. I liked that scene. They're good together. Like they're charming individually together.
Let's see.
And Ralph Fiennes is charming as hell.
I put in... Where was it? So I put self-romancing naked paper reading by a bubbler.
Yep. Yep, and they open the shot with the bubbler like right on his penis.
Yeah. And what was the quote? I was just about to call in. What was I just said it earlier in our text chat.
Let me go back through. Though, okay, so while they're in that scene, he's like, rules are important and they're meant to be played by. Like, you invited a woman into the men's only club, into the sauna when you're naked. Like, what rules are you abiding by? Okay. I was just about to throw in the towel.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. And then above that, I sent you, I'm almost done, but not just yet, and the most awkward screenshot, which I will share on the Instagram. But right before that, Sean Connery says, "Time to die," and Ralph Fiennes says, "Not just yet," which is a foreshadowing to a movie that Ralph Fiennes would be in called "Not Just Yet, Time to Die." Or "Not Just Time to Die Yet." I forget what it was. Yeah. Either way. And in that movie, Ralph Fiennes doesn't die either. So, spoiler.
True.
Though his integrity sure does. I tell you that. So I'm looking here and I see that the score was done by Joel McNeely, who did a score that I really like, the video game Shadows of the Empire, Star Wars.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which incorporates John Williams themes, but it's very experimental. Yeah. It's a really experimental Star Wars theme. But his music in this is not great. It's not bad, but it's also just not great.
It was very 1998, I felt.
Very 1998.
Just...
Tomorrow Never Dies had come out the year before this.
Wow.
And World Is Not Enough was in production.
So you would think that they would have like an idea of how to make a film like this.
But also how maybe trying not to step on toes.
But
also, one of the notes I wrote, like, there's a 4-note sting that is like a 4-note musical sting that is like so close to being the Bond theme.
Yes, I noticed that too.
You know? Dun, 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 dun. But it's not that. It's like, I forget what the notes are. But it's just, there's so many things that want to be Bond in this movie.
Mm.
All right, let's keep going. Uma is good in this movie, but why not hire a Brit?
Mm.
Her accent is fine. It wavers a bit, which is fine.
I think I have...
It's a bad movie, but like, why not cast a Brit?
I
There wasn't anybody... Like, was it just a looks thing? Because she does kind of look like Diana Rigg. But
I know I had a piece of trivia
pie?
about that.
I also had a piece of pie.
Oh, so apparently the original actor they wanted was Nicole Kidman.
That makes sense.
But she was under contract to get to shoot Eyes Wide Shut, which came out in '99.
Better film.
So yeah,
and I know Kubrick could be demanding, and Tom Cruise is a weird guy, but it's a better movie. Much better movie than this. And I haven't seen that movie for 10 years. But I remember it being better than this.
Mm-hmm.
So good call, Miss Kidman. Mrs. Kidman. Miss Urban. Mrs. Urban. Mr. Suburban. Keith... Oh, literally, I thought about this today. Keith Urban in a turban with some bourbon, hitting the curb in his Suburban.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good lyric.
I had gotten Nicole some like dairy cream for the pancakes she wanted to make, and she wasn't nuts about it. And I won't argue with her. Her butter is better for batter than the bitter butter I bought her.
Thank you. We'll be here all night.
Okay, let's keep going.
Should we move on to? Because I have it here in my notes. Should we move on to the Bear Club? Because this is insane.
Okay, so yeah, the Bear Club. Do we want to follow the plot of this?
I don't know, man, because this is just so... I feel like this thing... Connery Curious listeners, as we always suggest every week, is try to watch the film with us. So
yeah, you need to watch this one.
So,
this is nuts.
so if
no, you don't. You don't need to watch this.
Yeah, but if
I regret that. I'm sorry.
If for whatever reason you did not watch this and you are listening to this, good on you. But because Dylan, the movie moves so fast, I feel like we just need to hit these little plot points, because I'll be real with you, I'm still not sure how the movie ended.
Same. And you know what? I don't think it might be I think it might not be a bad idea to just follow the wiki here because it's 5 small paragraphs.
Okay, let's do it. Read all 5 paragraphs.
One for every 7 minutes of the movie. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Secret Agent John Steed and meteorologist Dr. Emma Peel are summoned to the Ministry. They meet the spy master, codenamed Mother, who informs them that the Prospero Project, an attempt to influence the weather, was apparently sabotaged by Peel. Dr. Peel claims she is innocent, but she is sent to work alongside Steed to find the real culprit. Mother's second-in-command, Father, claims that Peel suffers from a mental disease. The duo finds Sir August de Winter, a former military scientist. The duo visits, August de Winter, a former military scientist. He takes an instant liking to Peel, as they both share a love of weather. And it's here in the second paragraph where we get to the bears. Steed and Emma follow a lead to Wonderland Weather, a business that artificially creates heat or rain with a special machine, where they discover 2 dead men in teddy bear suits. The members of a secret organization led by De Winter all don teddy bear suits to disguise their identities. One of them, however, looks exactly like Peel. Steed arrives in time to save Peel as the double jumps off a roof and disappears. And that's where I had to stop and come back to... No, wait a second. No, it wasn't. Anyway, but yeah, so that's where the bears are. We're at the bears. There is a secret organization board meeting, and they're all wearing big Grateful Dead teddy bear suits. Just imagine, if you don't know, just Google Grateful Dead teddy bear, or Google Avengers teddy bear, Avengers 1998 teddy bear, because Avengers teddy bear will come up with all kinds of Captain America and Hulk and Iron Man teddy bears and such. But look up Avengers 1998 teddy bear meeting, and then compare it to an image of a Grateful Dead teddy bear. Not now, Adobe Flash Player.
Where do we think Connery was, in this, his mindset? We talked about in the previous episodes, the first couple episodes of, post-Bond. He seems to be, in a good place in his career. He's, seems happy. He's having fun. And then
hold on. Keep talking. I'll be right back. Because I have some sort of answer to your question. I forgot to bring it with me.
Okay.
Keep talking.
It's you wonder... We talked about, obviously, earlier, how this seems to be the film. This and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen are the movies that made him want to retire, basically. I'm just so curious, Connery curious, of where his mind was while shooting this. He's in a... Okay,
I'm back. What did I miss? Anything exciting?
I'm just saying how, I just wonder where his mindset is in this time in his life.
Well, what year was this book published? 1992. So that's not really going to answer this question because this book was published, around the time we were born. But I got this.
Oh.
Sean Connery, From 007 to Hollywood Icon, a book by Andrew Yule. So we'll see where he was at for every movie before 1992, emotionally. Just I wanted to fill you in that we may be able to refer to this as a source.
That'll be our Connery Bible right there.
I'm going to see if I can find one published at a later date.
That'd be great.
So we can answer that question that you have. Where was he for this movie? Because, what was his financial, emotional, mental state?
I'm just thinking...
managerial state?
I'm just thinking of him in this fucking bear suit. And what...
It's very cozy. I like it.
He must be thinking in his head...
I'd like to take it home.
But he must be thinking, I was fucking James Bond.
I was fucking James Bond. I used to be James Bond, then I was fucking James Bond. Women want to fuck him, men want to fuck him. I want to fuck him.
I fucked all the 007 actors after me.
Yes.
Roger
and
George.
Me. Yes.
And myself.
George was the...
I cloned myself and fucked myself.
Speaking of clones, I made a clone of Emma Peel, apparently.
That's in my notes. which is another Inspector Gadget reference. Funny enough, I did rooftop evil twin fight. There is a scene in Inspector Gadget where Dr. Claw makes a robot clone of the girl who
Inspector Gadget. Right?
no, yeah, a clone of Inspector Gadget and a clone of the girl who like built Inspector Gadget. And they're on a rooftop talking at one point.
Oh yes,
and
yes,
one
yes.
jumps off the roof. And I'm like, this is like this is just like Inspector Gadget. This is insane.
I don't remember that movie very well.
Inspector
I
Gadget.
remember
curious.
like the hospital scene where he wakes up and discovers everything in the wonky CGI in that.
Man, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
I just remember,
just right at the time to experience all of this stuff.
And did you remember the BK toys, Inspector Gadget? You had they had like his arm that was like a gadget. They had like one that was a squirt gun. It was like, so you had you could build Inspector Gadget. You had like his torso, his arm, his leg. Like his leg was like a wrench. His other leg was like a fucking flashlight. It was insane.
I don't remember that because I didn't have a Burger King near me when I was a kid. I had a Wendy's near me.
Ooh.
They had different toy lines, and I'm trying to think of any toys that I got from there. Sorry to divert, but you reminded me, just speaking of fast food toys, I don't know if you remember these, the little mirror cubes. It was a cube with a mirror down the middle, like a one-sided mirror, or no, it was a two-sided mirror, right? I forget. Yeah, but either way, it was a mirror on one side and half a head glued to it, so it looked like the head was floating on one side of a box. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah, I think I fairly remember this. These were at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Really, the only toys I remember at Wendy's specifically, they had like a Super Mario one. They had like Super Mario, like a Mario Kart one. They had like a Mario figure, like a Bowser. Like, it was crap. Do Wendy's even do toys anymore? I feel like Wendy's doesn't do toys anymore.
I honestly, to be honest, not to sound pompous, but I haven't eaten Wendy's or any other real fast food in a long time. I'm just giving this a Google, so I want to show you. Oh, this, okay. So I'm gonna share my screen with you again. Riveting podcasting.
Oh yes, I remember these.
Yeah. Yes, so it's a cube with a little like star, hyperspace light speed design on the background, and half a head glued to a mirror to make it look like a head is floating in the box. They were really nice. I liked them. They were a viewfinder, mirror box. They were nice. They were very relaxing, a nice part of my childhood that brings me comfort. I wish I still had it. Anyway, that was a trip down nostalgia lane that you can't see because it's visual. All right, so let's keep going.
So next
Steve and
paragraph.
Emma go off to visit DeWinter at his mansion, but are attacked by mechanical bees. The props looked good. The CGI did not.
These Simpson hit and run bees I have here in my notes.
Yep.
Just insane.
Which made me want to go back and play that game.
Oh, classic.
I love that game, and I really wish they would just remake it for a modern engine.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, give us like, again. I know Fallout's the only game I really play. Fallout 4, not.
Alicia's playing Fallout 4. I think as we speak, actually, in the other room.
Oh, I love it. And I know it's not a good game, folks. You can write in and tell me all you want. You go play New Vegas. I know I've been playing New Vegas. I love New Vegas, but the situation is it's on my PS3, and the controller I have for my PS3 is kind of crappy right now, so it makes the mechanics of the game harder when you can't like shoot at anything properly. I know you got VATS, but you know what I'm saying, folks. You know what I'm trying to say. God, I'm getting defensive against people that aren't even here. Anyway, so I just want a Simpsons game that is like walk around and interact. First person style.
Yeah,
or third person, and you can customize you build your Simpson character life. It doesn't have to be an episode or anything.
Oh yeah, just set it in
fun
the Simpsons
interactions
universe.
with people. Yeah, and maybe you can give it to Obsidian and let them just create and just have them take every single storyline possible, and you can just like trigger different classic Simpson storylines to happen.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
That'd be so
like if you
cool.
find a crate that has the B Sharps record in it, you trigger the Homer's Barbershop Quartet record album episode. Excuse me. You know, if you are at the like a random encounter at the Quickie Mart, you see Krusty rob the Quickie Mart, then you like get entangled in like a new quest happens where you have to like prove Krusty's innocent. And Sideshow Bob becomes your enemy, or you can take a twist on it where Sideshow Bob becomes your friend and you like help him escape, and Krusty does the time. You know what I mean? Like
You sold me. I want this game.
I want this game. So yeah, so you can skew classic episodes. Like my favorite episodes are the first two of season 5, Cape Fear. Cape Fear's 2 and number 1 is Homer's Barbershop Quartet. Those are my two favorite Simpsons episodes. That and Homer's Mother, Mother Simpson, excuse me. But like I would love to play the plots of those episodes, but then also like be able to take it in a different direction. Like, do you know those episodes?
I haven't seen them in years, but I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like Cape Fear ends with like a Bart making or asking his last request is Sideshow Bob to do the whole score of HMS Pinafore as a boat sails down a river, and he like just waits till the boat crashes into a rock, but like maybe you can like take a different path through that or something. Like I don't know, like maybe because early in the episode, Homer comes out like, Bart, you want to see my new chainsaw and hockey mask? Maybe you can like get that chainsaw and like fight back or something. Like you know what I mean? Like some fun way to spin on the episode, like. Maybe Bleeding Gums Murphy doesn't die. Maybe Lisa is smart enough. Like, if she has a high enough intelligence skill, she can cure him of his disease or something. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, Simpsons are way more interesting. I got one sentence into that. An elderly ministry agent, Alice, helps them to flee. Nevertheless, De Winter captures and hypnotizes Emma. When De Winter is later distracted, Emma tries to escape, but feels faint and finds herself trapped due to the mansion's ever-changing floor plan. Becoming desperate.
Rewind there for a second. I did put my notes. Return of the rape trick.
So did I. What did I put? Hold on. Because now we're skipping ahead big time. Doorbell rape trick. Because he's about to do some raping. And then Alice is like, I'm going to ring the doorbell.
And another note, another Alicia quote is, why are so many kisses interrupted in this movie?
Yes, a lot of interrupted kisses in this movie. And the one kiss that's not interrupted at the end, Ralph Fiennes goes, I wonder, and then they kiss.
What do you think he was thinking about? What do you think he was going to say?
I don't know. But I still have so many notes that we've skipped over.
At this point.
So let me finish this paragraph and then we'll backtrack. Ever-changing floor plan. Becoming desperate, she smashes her way through the wall where Steed finds her unconscious and rescues her. Back at Steed's apartment, Emma wakes up and is given boots by Steed. However, Emma is arrested by Father while Steed visits Invisible Jones, a man inside the ministry, to investigate the meaning of a map found at Wonderland Weather. Okay, none of that makes any sense even as I read it. Let's go back through some of the notes that we've had just so we can talk about some things. There's initiates all over this movie. Sword fights. That's another segment, Connery Connections. There's been swords and fighting or sword fights in every single one of these movies thus far. The license plate on Steed's car is RT4700. What's that backwards? 007 4TR.
Oh.
I don't know what 4TR is, but 007. It's trying to go like, we're taking a twist on your 007. You don't know what's coming.
Sly Devils.
We don't know what's coming. Another note I have is this is a very ASMR movie. It's very, very relaxing, especially the scene where they're suiting up and they're at what was the Trubshaw when they're at Trubshaw's and they're doing the fitting at Trubshaw's. It's very relaxing. What do you think of your suit, sir? A perfect fit. Quite. And the ladies' boots? Send them away. Of course. You know what I mean? Like, it's super relaxing.
I'm relaxed.
Except
just
it
hearing
sucks. Thank you. If it was good, it'd be good, you know? Well, that's the worst sentence I've ever said. Oasis Eddie Izzard. Which of the Gallagher brothers does he look like?
Dude, that
I don't
is
know
so
Oasis.
funny you said that.
Did you write that as well?
Because I have, where is it? It's after the window, the awkward window taps after the Connery Funhouse. I have Liam Gallagher judo chops an old woman.
Yep. And as she falls, she hits the cameraman.
Yes,
Did you notice that? The camera shakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's another note I had. Yeah, he looks definitely like Liam Gallagher. I don't know the Gallaghers personally, or next note, car tea dispenser. Well-written wit, but flatly delivered. Right? There's some witty lines in there, but they're delivered like shit. Connery's entrance is at 1737. Snow globe phantom organ. And he's making another farting face as he plays the organ.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to edit that one as well as he plays the organ.
I have another fun Connery quote here.
Do it.
Rain or shine, all is mine.
I like that one. That was a good one. That's towards the end, right?
Middle, I think. It's right after. I think it's right before the interrupted rape trick, because going up, I've interrupted the rape trick. I have remember nothing. Rain or shine is all mine. And
remember the game. Remember the game. Remember the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. That's what it was. I was like, one of the movies we had like
the last one.
Repeating what's right.
They're frying our brains, dude. We need a good movie. Like, First Night was great and The Man Who Would Be King was great, but like, give me something of substance.
Yeah, we gotta get through the shitters first. It's good. And one,
that was me after that.
I tend to
infused hot sauce. I tell you. Sorry.
I made it a point on my notes to always reference a gadget that was in this movie. So we had a tea gadget, and we also had peacock gadget.
I liked that one.
Yeah,
that was nice. It was a real peacock. It looked like.
Yeah.
That thing was massive, and I think they just slapped a little blinking light on one of it.
Basically.
Yeah, I like that. Peacocks are always really pretty. It's just nice to see one whenever you see one.
Exactly.
Yeah, choking, question mark, exclamation points, question marks, many question marks, many exclamation points. Why is that his, like, character entrance in the film? Like, his entrance is him playing. Okay, with the organ, what is with the painting of Uma Thurman over the organ?
Yeah, that was weird, because I figured
that was very weird.
Because I was kind of thinking maybe the clone of her is just someone else or whatever, or like it's a memory thing. I just thought it was very weird to have that photo there, and I was kind of like, I don't know. It's a weird obsession side plot that I guess we just didn't really dive into in this movie.
Yeah, it feels like something that was cut out.
Again, a lot was cut out, and that's why it doesn't make sense. So many things in this movie don't fucking make sense.
No.
If we want,
I wonder what the original length of this movie was. It doesn't have anything about the production on Wiki, just about the release and the reception.
Oh, hold on. I think it was in the trivia, actually. The original cut of the movie lasted 115 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 115 minutes. Yep, 115 minutes. Sacrificing much coherence and continuity in the process, key scenes removed included the opening sequence in which Mrs. Peel's evil clone infiltrates and destroys the Prospero Science installation. Early trailers included the scene where she says the words, "How now, brown cow in a false telephone box to gain admittance. These words are later used in the film when Steed and Peel use them to enter De Winter's island fortress in another telephone box. I wrote that down. How now, brown cow, as a quote I liked. And that makes sense.
Wow.
The movie was originally scored by Michael Kamen, who included the original Avengers theme. However, he was unable to rescore the film after the radical editing, so he was dropped out. The recut version was Joel McNeely. The original cut has yet to surface, and Warner Brothers has no plans to release a director's cut or special edition in any form, despite the fact that the director, Jeremiah Chechik, has offered to recut the film for free. Huh. I would watch a recut of this.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It had potential. It's like the trailer, I was like, okay, this can't be that bad. It's campy. It looks campy. It looks ridiculous. But it's Sean Connery and Ralph Fiennes, for Christ's sakes. It can't be that terrible. And then this all makes sense now. Just the weird cuts and all that.
Yeah, a half hour was cut from it. Almost a half hour. Well, yeah, because credit length. Yeah, that's nuts, man. This movie is nuts. Okay, where are we? Yeah, I really don't like that his character introduction is choking Uma Thurman. Monsoon. Yeah, we're hard on the H's now.
And they get even harder when it's later in the movie.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Because I have my.
That's what she said.
I have my.
Seashells by the seashore.
I have a note here. Connery's Scottish dress to impress when he's in the kilt.
He wears a kilt,
and he is. The S's are very aged in that scene.
Very aged. And you know what? You know what I thought the instant I saw him in the kilt? That's what he would have worn in Majesty's if he was in it.
Oh, man.
If they hadn't treated him like shit and he had liked the script for Majesty's,
dude,
he would have.
Like, we'll probably get to it eventually when the Bond movies come, but, like, man, like, that film, because I recently rewatched it. And
Wait, Majesty's?
Majesty's, yeah.
We're not going to watch that on this
Yeah,
one.
Unfortunately. But I watched it because we talked about it. It's a Christmas movie,
Maybe we'll do it as a watch-along.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Like a bonus episode or something.
But, yeah, and like we could do a commentary track and, like, what would have been if Connery was in it.
They reference Connery. It's enough.
That's the thing. It's like that scene of Bond in his office, and he's picking up like the rebreather, and they're playing like the theme songs from like, and I'm like, that would have been way more touching if it was Connery, and it would have been more touching at the wedding scene when Q and all them are talking to him and like sending him off.
When Moneypenny is crying.
Yeah, and it's like she's probably crying because it's not Sean, you know. Yeah. And like, man,
somebody deepfake him at least into the wedding.
We have the technology, man. Like
it's there. Use it for good. Use it for good.
But anyways,
so
let's go back to this Connery.
Yeah. He's a perv in this movie. He is a perv.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cinematography of like the flowers through the orbs.
Mm.
That was really nice, and the way he points to it, and when it shows from the other side, it's his head kind of blown up. That was really nice cinematography. There's some really nice cinematography in this movie, like especially in the Marble House maze. You know?
Yeah.
Like the stairwell that went nowhere.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful shot.
That was like a fucking Pink Floyd video to me, dude. It was like so cool to like see that.
I didn't mean to. That wasn't a shush pointing. That was a. Oh my god! A note. You said that was a Pink Floyd thing. Where is it? Hold on. The orb in the field with the storm. That's Pink Floyd as hell.
Yes.
That is David Gilmour era Pink Floyd as can be.
Hell yeah.
Like as soon as I saw the orb in the field with the storm and the field reflecting on the orb, and I like Sorrow started playing in my head, or one of the like Momentary Lapse of Reason or Division Bell tracks, like You know,
Hell yeah.
I kind of want to mute that audio and put Gilmore Pink Floyd to it.
Hey, we should let's do it.
Yeah, it's this is providing me endless opportunities for video editing fun. Do you like the ones I sent, or the nice dissolve one?
Oh yes, which we'll have to post these on social media because these are just insane. It's so funny.
I'm having a blast making them.
Oh yes, and the 007 one I did with.
Oh, that was great.
Oh my god,
that was great. Okay, all right. Let's go to that segment. Can it 007?
I think the only one that it can be done is Connery versus Fiennes in the last battle,
the sword fight,
the almost Duel of the Fates. I can see him put Duel of the Fates at that scene.
Yes, yes.
I think that's the only 007 moment you could really do.
And that's, again, if anyone out there can do it, please, please, please put lightsabers to all the sword fights in this movie.
Yes.
Because there's a decent one between Uma and Rafe as they're training. But the one between him and Connery at the end is genuinely very good. So please, and waves are crashing around them, and it's really epic.
It's very, I mean, I know we don't it's
Rise of Skywalker.
I would say, right?
Yeah.
I know it's a movie we don't talked about too often, but yeah, it's reminding me of that very much.
But yeah, please put lightsabers to it. If anyone's out there, please, 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 I'll give you $1.
If we can, every movie, if we can make a compilation of every Connery film with swords in it, with saber fights, I would love that.
I could die happy.
Yes.
Like, once we finish this podcast, somebody go all the way through it and find every instance of sword fighting. And, at the end of it, we'll end with, 42 lightsaber fights.
Hell yeah.
Because he's an angry Scotsman. I love fighting with swords. Put me in movies with those. I bet Sir Billy's got a sword fight.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, man. I cannot wait. I just tell you, I cannot wait. I also am very terrified, but I cannot.
Oh, I'm so terrified. I hope it's not next. Please don't be next. Please, universe, don't give us Sir Billy.
That's the one we have to watch together, in the same room.
You got to come over for that.
And we'll do a in person
surround sound.
And we'll do an in person recording together. Just as soon as we finish watching it, as soon as those credits roll, we're gonna go to the other room and record this fucking episode.
Yeah, if we hit it soon on the wheel, then it'll be our first in person podcast.
Yeah,
but if not, then who knows where time will take us. But on that subject of in person podcasts, stay safe over the next couple of days because we're based in Rhode Island here, and we're expecting some pretty bad storms over the next couple of days and freezing. And obviously this is going to be coming out 4 weeks after we record it, or 5 or something along those lines. So it will have long passed. We may all be dead. We don't know. But
if we're still alive,
there,
we're glad you're listening to this.
Survived it. Yeah. Hope everything's okay. But yeah, stay safe out there, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Stay in, stay in, and stay safe.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow and I'm gonna try to see. It's good. Hopefully, people will close down tomorrow, and I don't have to go out for too long. But we shall see. Got to pay the bills.
I'm not working tomorrow, thankfully.
There you go.
But on that subject, this movie is about brutal weather storms. Ultimately, that's the villain's plot. This movie has all the elements of a good Bond movie. And I'm really curious as to what the full cut of this was like. Because a plot of a villain controlling the weather is a genius plot. That's a great villain plot.
I'll say let's jump to this. I know we're kind of jumping around, but to begin the end sequence here of performance-wise. How'd you like Connery as a villain? Because I can't think of anything else he's a villain in. I'm sure we'll find out.
I have a note in here. Connery is an angry rapist, and I don't like him in this. Yeah. So if we're just going to cover the whole thing, let me just finish the last 2 paragraphs of the wiki so we just have the whole plot.
Let's do it.
So, Emma is arrested by father, while Steed visits Invisible Jones, a man inside the ministry, to investigate the meaning behind a map found at Wonderland Weather. After viewing the photos of a failed genetic experiments, including cloning, revealing that the other Emma Peel is a clone, Steed determines father is working alongside De Winter. Father and the Emma clone gas Peel unconscious, but are confronted by mother, who they incapacitate. De Winter, controlling the weather using Prospero, which is the machine, confronts the world leaders, boasting that he controls the weather and they will have to buy the weather from him at great expense. He gives them a midnight ultimatum. Last paragraph. Father and the clone take Peel to a hot air balloon where she regains consciousness and escapes during a snowstorm. Father and the clone perish when the balloon collides with the Wonderland weather sign. Once reunited, Steed and Peel share a kiss. Jones determines De Winter is using the Prospero instruments on a secret island, and Peel and Steed travel there to stop him. Peel diffuses the Prospero device just as a hurricane forms over London. Steed duels De Winter and impales him with his own cane, causing De Winter to be disintegrated by a powerful bolt of lightning. The duo escapes just as the base self-destructs and rendezvous with Mother on the roof of a building. And that is the end of the wiki synopsis. So now I think we can just jump all over the place. Pretty freely.
I'll say, let me run down the last bit of my notes here.
Yeah.
So,
but now the audience has context for anything.
Yes. So I have Talk to the Pipe. I have comically.
What?
I'm not sure.
Who said that?
I'm not sure where that references to. Talk to the Pipe. Someone must say it. I'm not sure. Then I have comically big microphone. When father is looking down at like the cell that Uma Thurman is in, and she has this really big, goofy looking microphone.
Yes, and I love that cell.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That was amazing. That was like, good God, I would hate to be stuck in that thing.
A lot of cool cells. We had the last cool cell we had was in First Night with the
with
the bottomless
the
pit.
oubliette. Yeah. Was there a good one in Sword of the Valiant? There wasn't a good cell.
I think that whole movie
was
was a prison for us. So, I mean,
you know what though? Upon flicking back through it just casually to make some of those clips, some of it's pretty fun. I kind of want to watch it again. And also, I really want to watch Green Knight.
Yeah, you showed me that trailer. I'm interested in seeing that now.
I really want to watch the Green Knight. I watched the beheading scene.
Is it like really?
It looks really cool. Oh. It looks really cool. And did you see I sent you the original Gawain and the Green Knight that Stephen Weeks made?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it's the whole film, right? Yeah.
I watched the beheading scene in that too. Not as well done.
Ooh.
For all the budget in that movie, because it's got a decent little budget. Clearly he hired a Renaissance fair. But I don't know. It's interesting. Give it a watch. I didn't watch the whole thing, but
absolutely,
just give it a skim. You know.
Let's see.
It's nothing like Sword of the Valiant.
So let's see. Last bit of Scottish Dress to Impress with Connery.
His lays and be best.
And then I had Pay for the Weather. The Mexicans are gonna pay for it. I thought it was a very Trump moment. It's like, we're gonna sell the weather. The Mexicans are going to
pay for it. They're going to build the weather machine, and then they're going to buy the weather from us.
Then I had Globe hit because he hits that globe, and it's like reminiscent of the gun barrel from Die Another Day.
And it's a CGI globe that comes at the camera. Yes, I wanted to write a note about that, but I'm like, that's not that important. And then you bring it up. I'm like, it's that important. Hot damn, yeah, it is. And it's an indicator of things to come for the Bond franchise.
That's it. And then the last hits I have here, I have Globe hit. I have Not Mother's Day. I have
Not Mother. I like that line. That was good.
I have Watch Gadget, pocket watch. Has like a little GPS on it.
I like that. That's a fun gadget. Though I always think that like the design of GPSs before GPSs were modern is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
That was just like beep 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 beep, and like way to be a spy.
And then I wonder.
And they know the layout of buildings too. Do you notice that?
Yeah, somehow.
They always know the layout of buildings. Like GPSs are really good today, but they can only tell you where my garage is. They can't tell you what my hallway looks like yet.
Yeah, I guess that.
Anyway,
I kind of hope for that technology someday. But
I hope it's not there.
let's see. I wonder.
Sorry.
Kiss quote.
Yeah, I wrote that as well.
I have ball walking, which is them in the giant balls.
I wrote that too. Diamonds are forever.
Yes.
But worse. That's what I wrote. Diamonds are forever, but worse. Yeah. Hamster wheels. Hamster balls.
And then my last note is Liam Gallagher quote, "Oh fuck."
I liked that wire fight a lot.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
That was really fun. But it was just sloppy though. The strange, I'm like everything I like in this movie. Like, there's no moment in it that I like. It's just like a general thing. Like, there was no moment of like, aha. There was no Bond catches the gun on top of the crane. You know what I mean? There was no one singular moment in a great action set piece. It was just a great action set piece. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're fighting on the wires, and he's got the hook, so he's going to be a little sloppy because he's relying on the hook, and she's going to be a little more on the ball because she's got nothing to hold her there. She's just hanging on by her hands. You know, she's going to be a little more focused in this fight. And that's enough, but you did need one little moment where she, like, cleverly unhooks him or something.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like, cutting the wire and he falls. Like, she should have found some real clever way to... It should have been one single moment that... You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm sure it was in the original cut. I'm sure there was, like, a more extended scene there. Because, I mean... But yeah, like, think about going back to, like, the action scenes. That's why, like, one of the top 5 of, like, best kind of sequences there. I like the sword fight with Connery. I like...
That was really good.
Yeah, I enjoy the...
Oh, can I bring up a quote from... Oh, did I say that already? The No Time to Die? Yeah, I already did. My bad. I'm sorry. This movie sapped everything. So continue. Best action sequences.
Yeah,
sword fight with Connery.
Sword fight with Connery. Like the wire scene. What else did I like? I'm always a sucker for... it wasn't really a car chase, I guess, with the Hornets. I am a sucker.
That was fine.
I'm a sucker for like driving, but like other than that, it wasn't that good. But I think the top 2 are probably like the sword fight and the wire fighting scene, because I can't think of any other like good action there.
I wrote Endor B chase is meh. Because it feels like the speeder bike chase.
It does.
It's filmed a lot like it.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep riffing? I'm going to Connor P again.
Hit a Connor P.
Thank you.
But man, yeah, there's not much other like memorable action scenes in this. I don't know, is there? Not really. I don't think so. It's a lot of talking, a lot of quote unquote story building. I just want to see the extended cut, man. I think it'll be a game changer. It'll be a whole new movie. Honestly, you gotta wonder.
Cool. Touch tips. All right. So where were we? Forgive me.
So I mean, I don't know. Should we just wrap up like our final thoughts here?
Oh, I've got more thoughts. I again wrote 2 pages of notes.
Oh, hit me with your thoughts, man.
Hit me with your best thoughts. Okay. Dress rehearsal. I like the chess scene.
Okay, yeah.
Where she's like, he's playing chess with her and she's reviewing pictures and just not paying attention, but doing chess still. Playing chess. Her mind's still fully in the game, but it's like throwaway activity, like the way you would like smoke a cigarette while doing a task. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but you know what I'm saying. I liked that. Yeah, there's no civilians in this movie at all. How did the bears get stabbed through their bear suits? Those are big, thick bear suits. I like the player piano. That's a good gag.
Oh yeah.
Where she sits down at the piano, like she's just. It's a like she does with the chess game, where she's just kind of half paying attention to it. She just is having a conversation with Steed and sits down and starts playing the piano, and then is a nice, cute little revelation that it's a player piano.
I did like that.
Weather orbs. OEI, Oasis Eddie Lizard, conveniently drops a map. I like that alley fight. That was really good. Ray Fiennes is a good Bond. That's a good action sequence, that fight.
I was thinking that. I was like, I wonder what he would have been like if he was Bond at that age.
Yeah. Well, I need to watch The King's Man.
Oh, we haven't seen it?
No, was it good?
It's I prefer the other Kingsman movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good, and I think I feel like he's a more mature version of this character, in Kingsman. It's fun. I think you'll have fun watching it. I think it's on Prime.
I liked the first Kingsman.
Yeah, second one is like I didn't like the. It's not really a spoiler, but there's like a lot of they have like an American agency that they mix up with, and I'm like, I don't want to see them. I just want to see the regular Kingsman.
There's I know he's in that movie, and you referenced Andor, which I know is not the same person, but it's also in Star Wars. Pedro Pascal. There's a comedian at one of the open mics I go to that looks exactly like Pedro Pascal, and I never get a chance to go after him to go, everyone give it up for Pedro Pascal.
You got to do it.
So, okay, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I forget. Oh, Ray Fiennes as Bond.
Yes.
I think that would be interesting. I mean, I love him as M. I think he's a perfect M. But you wonder if, like, because I mean, yeah, Brosnan. I love Brosnan as Bond, but a lot of people weren't crazy about him as Bond. That's why you wonder what it would have been like if Ray Fiennes was Bond instead. Because again, you said this is right in between Tomorrow Never Dies and World's Not Enough.
Yeah.
So interesting. Is he's probably like around the same age as Brosnan?
Let's see. Ray Fiennes, 60. He is 60 years old right now. He was born in 62. Wow. And then, hold on. Pierce Brosnan was born in 1953, so he's 69. Nice.
Oh.
Sorry.
Nice.
He doesn't have a picture on his Wikipedia. Why? Why not? Such a handsome man should have a big, bold picture.
Pierce Brosnan? That one?
Yeah, if you go to his Wikipedia page, it's just... I mean, he's got plenty of pictures on it, but, not a big main one. Nice, pretty picture,
How odd.
Yeah.
He is a handsome man.
Very handsome man.
You still got to see Black Adam.
Do I need to?
I would see it just for Pierce.
Out of curiosity, he doesn't have as many films as Connery. Be a shorter season, but I think I'd look forward to it. Anyway, all right. So yeah, he's 9 years younger than Brosnan, so he could have played Bond around this time. Okay, what else do I got? So many zooms in this movie. So many zooms. Uncomfortable zooms sometimes. Double Uma effect is good. Like, whatever effect they're using to do it, not bad at all. Especially in the shots where they're together, clearly. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So they're fighting on the roof, and, the bear suit clone has Emma Peel, like, her head is, like, over the edge of the roof. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And there's a zoom up the roof, which made me think that an elevator was coming up and it was going to take off Emma Peel's head. But it didn't happen. It was just the camera moving sporadically. I think the theme of this movie is that nothing is impossible. I was trying to find some kind of common theme in this movie. Broadbent Heart. Orban Field with Storm as Pink Floyd. Dress rehearsal. Croquet is a golf-esque sport, and Connery is in a white suit as he plays croquet. So, Goldfinger reference?
That's what I said. I think I said that in my notes. Yeah, I say croquet Goldfinger.
Yeah, so that's got to be some small nod. The bee chase, Oasis Eddie Izzard is like basically using like some weird back massager thing to control all the bees. Did you notice that?
Yeah. A lot of weird props
A lot of weird props.
between the
Alice,
phones and the microphones and all that.
yeah, and the tea dispenser in the car, which was the best.
That's my favorite gadget. I don't care. That's my favorite gadget.
Alice Hart. I liked Alice.
Alice
She was
Hart.
great. Voldemort and a hedge maze. Voldemort in a hedge maze.
Yeah.
Little foreshadowing. Voldemort goes into a hedge maze. This is not a note I wrote down, but I gotta say it before I forget about it. Not to sound lecherous, but Uma Thurman looks fantastic in her Black Widow outfit, and that had to be where Quentin Tarantino. Not even just that, she looks fantastic throughout the movie, but like all these like slim, form-fitting one-piece outfits, it has to be where Quentin Tarantino thought, I'm gonna put her in Kill Bill, because she's wearing like those slim, like form-fitting yellow and like black leather outfits and whatnot, like, and it's an action role. So I feel like that had to be like some of his influence, because Quentin Tarantino is making a name for himself at this time. Pulp Fiction was coming out, and anyway, not to sound lecherous, but Tarantino's filming feet all the time, so you know, not knocking it. Where are we? Okay. Emma Peel says that the hedge mazes are trapezoid. Trapezoid, I think. I'd have to re-listen to it. That's just how I wrote it down. This is from before I had to stop the other night and come back to it. Okay, this is where I came back. Connery Kane fight. 60s torture sequence. Yeah, that was good when I don't like that he's torturing Emma Peel, but it's like the 60s lighting and whatnot. It's really bizarre. It feels like it's straight out of the 60s. I did like that. Connery says, we're going to get close like spoons in a drawer. Spoons in a drawer. Yeah, Connery is an angry rapist, and I don't like him in this. Doorbell rape trick. Candelabra bedroom. Holy shit. There's like 30 candelabras in there. What a fire hazard that's
very dangerous.
I hope it was just a layer of water on the floor. A layer, like a couple inches of water, you know, enough that if anything fell, it'd be fine. I love the marble maze sequence, but also how is it supernatural? That was my question at the time, and then, or is she on drugs? But then my supernatural question was answered later with Invisible Jones. Is that what is it? Yeah, Invisible Jones. I really liked Invisible Jones. That was really cool. The effect was really good.
Who was in
Patrick
the
McNee,
original?
who was also in A View to a Kill
That's right.
as Tibbet.
Holy shit.
Who
Bond connection.
Who? I'm gonna make another Bond connection. You ready for this? So, Tibbet, played by Patrick McNee, who was in the original Avengers TV show, was also in A View to a Kill from 1985. And in that movie, his character is killed by
I haven't seen View to a Kill in a while.
Mayday, played by Grace Jones.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, I'm going to skip ahead to the end credits. There's 3 songs in the end credits. We'll get to that in a second. But the first song is called Storm. It's written by Bruce Woolley, Chris Elliott. I wonder if it's the actor, Chris Elliott. Marius DeVries, Betsy Cook, and Andy Kane. Performed by Grace Jones with the Radio Science Orchestra.
Oh.
Look at these connections. So, we got Grace Jones, we got Patrick McNee in this movie. This View to a Kill connection, Bond connection. It's all over the place. It's a Connery universe here. Andy Connery's not in A View to a Kill, but you know what I'm saying. Now, the reason I bring up that there's 3 songs in the credits is because they had to pad the credits out. And I'm going to show you screenshot-wise. So I took a picture of all 3 of them. So you see the spacing between those. There's
Yeah.
at least like 3 seconds of screen time. There's at least a full frame of black in between these credits rolling through, because that's how much they needed to pad this movie, that they put 3 songs in the credits, 3 full songs.
Oh my god.
And the song Storm, sung by Grace Jones. The first lyric is, forgive me, I've just got so many notes on this film. Strange weather, Goldfinger. Anyway,
They tried so hard to be Bond.
tried so hard and fell so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I can't sing. So she wears a black widow outfit. Emma Peel wears a black widow outfit, and that was definitely the inspiration for the character. 100%. I believe that if you look historically, you know what, I'm just gonna Google it so I'm not spitting facts, spitting false information. Wait, what? Emma Peel is based on the Emma Peel and John Steed were present at the Laughing Horse Bar when Steve Rogers and Clint Barton arrived? What? What?
Really?
Huh. But yeah, there's definitely an influence. Like, I'll share my screen. There is 100% an influence between Emma Peel's both classic and costume in this film and Black Widow.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And just give it a simple Google.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Even the hair color and like Jesus.
Yeah. 100%. Anyway, so again, riveting podcast where you can't see what we're talking about. Invisible Jones was great. I really liked the effects for that. So because of that, I stopped doubting the Marble Funhouse. Like, okay, maybe there is something supernatural to it because there's Invisible Jones here. Also, do you remember Mike Daniels from college?
Yes.
Shout out Mike Daniels if you're listening. Dude's gone on to do some successful things. We worked on a video project where we had to make a trailer for a film, and ours was called Exit, and it was a film about somebody basically becoming trapped in the building. The same way, they are there late at night and they can't leave. The building is keeping them there, and we did a lot of shots that were very similar to what was going on in this film, where Emma was running down one end and out the other side like Pac-Man, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's up on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I gotta see that.
I'll link it here as well. It's on YouTube. What else? That cell. That cell was great. Really terrifying, though. I would not want to be on that set or in that cell. The next one is a quote I recorded. This might be my favorite bit of quote from the whole movie. I'm going to hold this up.
It'll help pass the time.
Time would pass anyway if you think about it logically. But then, so if you do think logically or even anti-logically, clockwise or anti-clockwise, tick-tock, tock, tick, seesaw, Montreal, it amounts to the same thing. After all, how do you know I'm the real Mrs. Peel?
How real do you feel, Mrs. Peel?
I'll repeat the question, bypassing the weather.
Bars.
Could you hear that?
Yeah. And that's the scene with the comically big microphone.
Yes, and the comically large padded cell. How real do you feel, Mrs. Peel? And all the things she was spitting beforehand. That was maybe my favorite quote of the whole movie. Another thing I recorded. I'm sorry. So after the credits ran out, I was in the other room brushing my teeth, and the DVD menu started playing. Now, I know you watched a digital copy of this movie, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't get the DVD menu. Here's the DVD menu music. You ready?
I'm ready. What?
Yeah. Yep. Is that not the most insane thing? Like, is that anywhere in the movie at all?
I don't think so.
It's truly maddening. This whole movie is truly maddening. John maddening. Okay. Connery kilt. And there's a nut shot in his kilt. Do you notice that? It's like a shot that he's got like a medallion over his crotch with like the hanging furs. And there's a shot that like pulls out right from that.
You see his nuts?
No, but it's a crotch shot. You know, it's right on the crotch of his kilt, and then it pulls out from that. It's
Oh
weird.
my God.
Why no 007 hot air balloon? We've got a blimp, but a hot air balloon is a real good opportunity for tension.
Yes.
And it's actually not a bad fight on the hot air balloon. But how does Emma Peel survive that fall? The Trubshaw boots are not a good explanation. Like there's a scene where he puts boots on her very sexually. Steed puts boots on Emma, and it's awkward. And they have no chemistry at all.
All very awkward.
Except for that chess scene. But other than that, there's no chemistry where you want to see you just feel like they work together.
Mm.
But there's a scene where he puts these boots on her, and he's like, they're impact boots. They'll help. It's like it's not power armor from Fallout. She falls like 400 feet. It's a long way. She just is fine because she landed on snow in special boots.
Don't try it at home, kids.
No, don't. Jump from higher. Speaking of I wonder, kiss. There's a scene, the next scene, Mother is on the phone with, I'm guessing, the Prime Minister, and he goes, I have agents on the case, sir. A woman, and a man, and a woman, sir. And it just makes me, so yeah, that's the line. I have agents on the case, sir. A man and a woman, sir. And which makes me think that the dialogue in between on the other line, the Prime Minister is like, do you have people working on it? Yes, I have agents on the case. Good. What are their genders?
Because that's what they needed to cut from this movie.
Right? I don't know, but like, not to say that's not relevant, but it's also like, why that line of dialogue? Like, what was the setup for that line of dialogue?
We'll never know.
Diamonds are forever hamster balls, but worse. How now, brown cow? I wrote that now, and we know the origin of it. Everyone looks great in this movie. Everybody looks great in this movie. There's just no other people in this movie. No regular civilians. Nobody. But everybody looks really good. Connery looks great. Sean's bass, I really like it. But it's got the GoldenEye problem of how did they start low and end up so high working their way down? You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
they start at the water at the bottom, and then when they enter the base, they're at the top of it somehow. Oh, Nicole's home. But it's the same thing as GoldenEye. Like he starts the opening sequence, like rappelling down, and then ends the action scene like jumping off a cliff. Like at no point in the action scene, that like the 20 minutes in between, do we get them going up. It doesn't. Anyway, it's that logic. But GoldenEye is a much better film. There's Steed would be shredded by all that broken glass. We know that from Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
I love the wire fight. Level 1 and rising. 30 seconds and counting. Please, 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 please lightsaber up the sword fight. Time to die, not just yet. Okay. So many people fall in this movie, and we never see them land. We never see the landing of these impractical falls. Like, they fall so impractically, and we just never see them land. Like Steed falls as he's fighting Connery, right? And he, like, we don't see him.
That's right.
There's like 4 falls in this movie, and we never see the landing of the falls. It's just like when she falls from the hot air balloon, she just falls, and it cuts away, and then like 30 seconds later, enough time that you've forgotten about it, like, or you're still questioning, like, where is she? They cut to her, like, the balloon blows up. There's a good amount of time, and then it cuts to her on the ground in the snow, and she's fine. Like, so that happens a few times in this movie, and anyway, I like that Connery is impaled. That was good. But then he gets a reverse Palpatine death. He gets shocked by outside lightning and then gets sucked upwards. So I'll put the Return of the Jedi sounds on that as well.
And then Poe Dameron saying, somehow Connery's returned.
Yeah. And I'll have Ray Fiennes like after he sees, the body gets sucked up and vaporized, by the way, too. I'll have, Ray Fiennes will be, the Vader breathing. I can't do it accurately. But, so yeah, Palpatine death. 007 dive. Emma Peel does a 007 dive. Mother is definitely fucking his secretary. Because she's, like, sexually feeding him a macaroon. And, like, sexually cleaning his face and stuff.
Can we talk about how many cigarettes motherfucking smoked in this movie?
Motherfucking. He motherfucking smoked. So every scene he was like nervously sucking down a cigarette, and it was always like down to the nub too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adorable in this movie, man. I love Jim Broadbent in everything.
Me too.
Have you seen Moulin Rouge?
Yes.
I love that movie so much.
Yes.
He's great in that.
He is.
I want to see him do some drama.
I'm sure he has, hasn't he?
Well, let's pull up his wiki. Jim Broadbent as Mother. He was in The Borrowers, Time Bandits, Brazil, Superman 4. Oh my God. Moulin Rouge. Gangs of New York. He is in Crystal Skull.
Yep.
Deathly Hallows. Part 2. Huh. Oh, he's in Paddington 1 and 2. He's always doing, like, cute roles. He always does something cute. I want to see him do something gritty where he has to, like, behead somebody. Anyway, on his Wikipedia page, personal life, he is an atheist. Anyway. Good.
I think before we behead ourselves here, I think we should begin to wrap up with our final reviews and whatnot here.
Yes. Well, my final notes here: the 4-note music sting wishes it was 007.
Yeah.
And then I already made note of Goldfinger sound, a strange weather sounding like Goldfinger. But another thing I noticed in the credits is that the second unit director, Vic Armstrong.
Really?
Who worked on a lot of the Bond movies as second unit.
Another Bond connection. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna share my screen with you for a second. I have it set to change backgrounds every like 15 minutes. I just want to share this really cool background.
Ooh,
Look at that. Isn't that nice? Very
that's
calming.
really nice.
It's a nice picture. Yeah, I'm going to screenshot that. It's a very nice picture of a frozen lake and trees coming through it. It's really nice. Very calming and relaxing. Like the ASMR tendencies of this film. Let me come back to, again, riveting podcasting. Stop sharing. Where am I going here? Okay, there we go. All right, yes, let's begin wrapping up. I think that's a good idea. What are your thoughts on this film? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What are we? Do we want to rate it yet?
I think we just rate it.
Sean rating first or movie rating first? Oh, let me pull up the document.
I think we'll go with the film rating first. Man, rough. So a couple things I liked, a couple things I think you liked too. So I mean, I think I'll give it.
Definitely a couple things I enjoyed.
I think I'm gonna hit it with a 3. Solid 3
For the film.
for the film itself.
For the film, okay. I'm also gonna give it. You know what? I'm gonna go 2.5.
Ooh, okay.
2.5 out of 10. Now your Sean rating.
Sean, it's tough, man. I think I might give him a 007.
A 7 out of 10.
I think so, yeah.
You going with that? Locking it in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a 2.5.
Really?
Yep, I'm going 2.5 and 2.5. This movie gets a cumulative 5 for me.
Damn.
Yeah, I did not like Connery in this at all. He was very rapey. Like, he was good as an actor. He was doing his lines and putting in the emotion necessary for certain scenes, but, like, it was confused emotion.
Yeah.
Like, he just wasn't... He was so rapey and so creepy. And I get it, he was a villain. I get that. But... it's still not enjoyable to watch. You gotta have some joy in watching your villain, you know? It's gotta be something that makes you kinda like the villain for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that gets us on the villain side for this. And granted, you don't want to be on the side of a Bond villain for any reason, but again, you can understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, what was his reasoning for this?
It was all very silly.
Money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like Connery much in this. The Eshes were a lot, which I'm not holding that against him, but like when all I can latch onto in his performance is that, you know.
I think you sold me, man. I think I want to take my score down.
Yeah, what are you bringing it to? No, I mean, I'm not trying to sell you. If you think
I'll
it's a 7, give it a 7. You know, I'm not trying to change your mind.
I think I'll give it a 4. I'll give him a 4.
Wow, dude, I didn't mean to talk you down that much.
No, because there are some scenes, like some deliveries that made me laugh and very Connery. But yeah, I think now that you're telling me that, like, yeah, there was really no enjoyment. I feel very creepy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hit him with a 4.
Alrighty. So film ratings, you gave it a 3. I gave it a 2.5. You gave it a 4 on the Sean rating. You gave Sean a 4. I gave him a 2.5. Yeah, I did not care for this movie at all. I liked Ralph Fiennes' performance more. I even kind of liked Uma Thurman's performance more. There was nobody. Let me go back through the cast of this movie, see if there's anybody I really loved in this movie. Nope. Not a 1. I liked Alice. Alice was great. But, like, nobody else in the cast really stood out. Like, Ralph Fiennes was great. Uma Thurman was good. But she was very good. But it's just the not British thing that's just really weird about it. For me, at least. Connery, 2.5. Oh, Broadbent. You know what? Broadbent was my favorite actor in this movie. Yeah. Forgive me. I didn't mean to be so negative 30 seconds ago. and be like, not a one, not a one. How could I be so pompous? Yeah, Fiona show was fun. Eddie Izzard was goofy. Eileen Atkins was really, I liked Alice a lot. And yeah, Jim Broadbent, highlight of the show.
Hell yeah.
So, would you recommend this to a friend? I think we need to start asking this at the end of things. Would you recommend this to somebody?
Not at all.
I've never seen a Sean Connery film. Should I watch The Avengers?
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either. I would say go anywhere else. And speaking of going anywhere else, whose turn is it to spin the wheel this week?
I think it's mine.
It's your turn. All right, share that screen.
All right, here we go. This is exciting.
Alrighty.
Hopefully.
I'm very excited, but strangely all my excitement has been sapped. You know what I mean?
There's still time.
Let me
All
close
right.
it on my end so it doesn't interfere with anything.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, as you guys know, after each review, we go back to the Wheel of Curiosities.
The Wheel
to
of
roll-
Curiosities.
To roll our next Connery film.
Ooh, I'm excited now.
So-
Just looking at the list, I'm just excited. Ah!
Let's see, man.
Whoa, he did 3 films in a row that all start with the Red Tent, the Molly Maguires, and the Anderson tapes.
So many thes. So our next Connery film is... Action of the
Tiger. We said that at the same time. I wonder if that'll edit in nicely. Action of the Tiger. Okay, let's look and see what that is. 1957. So his first role was in Lilacs in the Spring in 1954 as an extra. But then it was 3 years later in 1957 he did 4 movies. And in Action of the Tiger he plays Mike. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to buy this one. Action of the Tiger. Looks like we're going to have to buy it on Blu-ray.
Oh my god, he looks like the Wolverine in this.
Really? Share your screen with me so I can see that. Because I don't know if I have that. So, Action of the Tiger is a 1957 British CinemaScope action film. Whoa, he does look like Logan.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow, he's really handsome. Really scruffy looking.
Yeah,
but
look
really
at that.
handsome.
Look at that hair.
Yeah, very all over the place. Very Beatles-esque. But yeah, he
Without
looks...
earmuffs.
Yeah, definitely without earmuffs. Look, we'll go to that color one.
Which one?
Right there, yeah. Damn. He's huge. He is a big man.
Yeah, he looks good too.
Yeah. All right, so Action of the Tiger is a 1957 British CinemaScope action film directed by Terence Young
Ooh.
and starring Van Johnson and Martine Carroll, distributed by MGM. So Terence, for those of you who don't know, Terence Young directed Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Thunderball. And by all accounts, he was like a modern James Bond type himself for the time. He was very suave and secretive and told Connery, go sleep in the tuxedo, you know. The plot is about the rescue of a political prisoner held in Albania. Carson, played by Van Johnson, is an American contraband runner approached by Tracy, a French woman who wants him to help rescue her brother. Supporting actor Sean Connery would reunite with Terence Young for the first film in the Bond series, Dr. No. The title comes from Shakespeare's Henry V. Alrighty. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this looks like fun. This is like, we've done a lot of post-Bond. This is our first pre-Bond.
Pre-Bond, yeah. This is our first pre-Bond. Oh, shit.
This is going to be interesting. I cannot wait for this one. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, you guys know the rules so far. If you guys want to join us next week for this review, look around for Action of the Tiger. It looks like you could probably buy it around.
It looks like it's only on Amazon or maybe on eBay at the moment. But, yeah, I couldn't find it in my library. Like, I researched all of these before, and I could not find these in my library or library system. So, yeah, I think it's going to be buying this on Blu-ray.
So there it is. So join us next week for Action of the Tiger. Very excited for this, man. And still no Bonds, man. I'm like excited for what our first Bond's going to be. It's like,
again, it's a 1 in 10 chance.
Yeah.
You know, it's only 10%. So the odds are not in Bond's favor, really.
They are not.
So, there's a used one here for $12. Anyway, but yeah, this is our first pre-Bond film. I'm looking forward to seeing what a young feral Connery is like. Yet to be tamed. 93 minutes, nice and short.
There we go. Awesome.
Reception. It just says The Prophet. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know anything about this movie. I'd never heard of it before putting this list together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Action of the Tiger from 1957. Let's do it.
Let's go, man.
Let's do it. That was terrible. I hate myself for that.
So, all right, man. So I guess with Connery Curious, I've been Mario Lima.
I've been Dylan Titus. Do we want to wait? Let's cover the social stuff and whatnot.
We'll
Still have yet to make an outro for that properly, so let's just cover it now.
Yeah. So you guys can follow us at Connery Curious on Twitter. I keep forgetting what the tag is. I think it's at Curious Pod.
I think so. You just search for Connery Curious Podcast.
Yeah, Connery Curious on Twitter. We're still working on Instagram, I believe, so you'll probably find us there at Connery Curious as well.
In about a week's time, if for a little inside behind the scenes, we're recording this before Christmas, and it'll be coming out around the end of January. So by then, the Instagram will be up for sure, and it'll probably be at Connery Curious Pod.
Yes.
And we're at, you can send us an email at Connery Curious. Wait, hold on.
Yep. ConneryCurious@gmail.com.
Yep, ConneryCurious@gmail.com. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, so send us questions, and we'll read them on the air, and you guys can hear it here and get your
we
takes.
want your feedback. We really do. We are interested in what you guys think and what you guys want to know or hear and what films you're excited for. Give us some feedback, genuinely. I got some people that want to do some films, so I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait, dude. That's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for us tonight here at Connery Curious. So I guess
it's been a good night.
Stay curious.
Stay curious, folks. I've been Dylan Titus.
And I've been Mario Lima.
Stay curious.
Yes.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds media production. For more content, be sure to follow us on various forms of social media by searching Connery Curious. Be sure to rate and review the show wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
You know, one should never fear